One of the stories that you might be keeping up with is this one, because Wolves are in talks with Arsenal over the signing of goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale. They're exploring a loan with an option to buy. Arsenal, though, want to do a permanent deal, or at least a loan that comes with an obligation to buy. Ajax remain interested in Ramsdale. They had a loan offer rejected earlier this month, and Arsenal are working on potential replacements if Ramsdale was to leave. They've explored the conditions of a deal for Espanyol's Joan Garcia. Right, this is interesting, isn't it? First of all, from Wolves' point of view, they've got a settled number one, Jose Sa. So Ramsdale's only going to go there if he's going to be number one.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's really interesting when you look at Wolves because, of course, this window, they've recouped over £90 million, signing their captain, Maximilian Kilman, and also Pedro Neto going to Chelsea. And I think the question around Wolves has been how are they going to invest some or a lot of that money that they've recouped. You look at Jose Sa, he's been their number one for the last 3-4 seasons. I think over the last 12 months, it's fair to say he has been linked with moves away from the club. Whether there's been any kind of concrete evidence of that, we'll wait and see. But I think when you look at Wolves' squad, would you have said maybe a number one is what they would be looking for immediately? I think Gary O'Neill will be looking at centre-back and also midfield to beef up that squad. But is Aaron Ramsdale an upgrade on Jose Sa? On balance, you would say yes. And I also think perhaps another consideration is, I think Gary O'Neill's looking to play a back four this season, and maybe Aaron Ramsdale, especially with how good he is with his feet, perhaps gives them a bit more ability to play out from the back and perhaps change their style of play. We saw last season they played a lot of counter-attacking football with pace. I think they're going to try and transition that this season if they can. I think Aaron Ramsdale will really help them do that.
Yeah, I think if you look at it from Ramsdale's point of view, he definitely needs a move somewhere. And I think if he's guaranteed to go to Wolves and be number one, he probably jumps at that chance, doesn't he? Because he's had a wasted season, essentially a season that probably would have taken him by surprise. I don't think he would have expected at the start of last season to be ousted from number one and Arsenal to have brought in a goalkeeper of the calibre of David Raya. And in fairness, we all debated whether the two number ones thing could work. I think from Arsenal's perspective, they've upgraded with David Raya. But you can't just keep having Ramsdale on the bench season after season. He's too good a goalkeeper and a goalkeeper that's an England international and will have eyes on being England's number one at some point. So I agree with you in the fact that from a Wolves perspective, I would say I would have thought they would have had other priorities. But what you've said about the switch of system, and Gary O'Neill's a very intelligent manager, he'll know that he's lost some big players over the last few years. And if he thinks even changing goalkeeper can change maybe the way that Wolves play and maybe get those extra 2-3% out of the team, he'll do it. But he'll only do it. That Arsenal will only accept that if it's an obligation to buy.
Would Wolves not be falling into a similar trap to what Arsenal were in, though? In that if they keep Sarr, you've got two number ones there. I
mean, I'm sure, Gary O'Neill and Matt Hobbs, the technical director, sporting director at Wolves, they've talked all summer about planning for moves that have happened. So when Kilman was sold, they were planning ahead of that. When Neto was sold as well. So I think this Ramsdale news will only be with the view that they have a plan for Jose Sa, whether that's to contend for the number one jersey or they know that Jose Sa could be potentially on the way out. We'll wait and see. But if this happens, what a statement signing from Wolves. I don't think there's probably been a signing like this, if it does happen, for Wolves fans to be this excited about for a long time, I think.
I think Wolves have got an excellent goalkeeping coach, Neil Cutler, as well, who was previously at Villa, and I saw firsthand what he did for Emi Martinez. Look at what Emi Martinez did with Neil Cutler as a goalkeeper coach. Neil Cutler improves goalkeepers, and maybe it's the fact that Ramsdale's maybe a little bit more malleable than Jose Sa. They're at kind of different points in their career, aren't they? So I think that's a goalkeeper that I think Neil Cutler would work very well with, the goalkeeping coach.